Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Doing a toy unboxing today, as you can see by the big old box that's taking up most of the view here. See if we can pull back a little bit from this box. All right, we got a slightly better view here of it. So I've mentioned a few times in terms of collecting toys, there are a couple categories. You can think of it that way. There are those toys that you had as a kid and lost somewhere along the way. And you just want them back. Silly, but you just want them back. There's the nostalgia. There's a sort of, comfort food aspect to them. Then there's also those toys that you always wanted, but you never got. Because, for a lot of us Gen Xers, of course there were rich kids back in the day, but money was a little tighter in our day. And I guess a lot of folks nowadays are going, oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, it is getting tighter, but it's actually not as tight as it was. Trust me on this one. Oh, interest rates. If the inflation that's going on now has you freaking out, be thankful you weren't alive in the 70s and 80s. But there are a lot of things we didn't get, which was fine. Then you get a little older and you go, hey, I want them and I can afford them now. Now, this is something that I always wanted. Not necessarily this precise thing. But it was a toy line that I always thought was cool. Never owned. I mean, like I said, you had to pick your battles. Couldn't have everything you wanted, and I was right there for the absolute glory days of Star Wars figures and Lego, and yeah, you had to make some tough decisions about what you wanted for Christmas when we were kids back then. So let's get this thing out of here. So this was something that always, looked cool. But I never actually got. Here's my little keyboard. And this particular item showed up on the Goodwill auction site a few weeks ago. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that almost every day in the morning, I will, I guess it's called X, whatever. I will post Goodwill auctions that are ending that day. So people can maybe, just take a look at the toys or maybe actually go bid on them. And I'm no dummy. I don't put stuff up there that I'm planning on bidding on myself. But if you went back a couple, 3 weeks, you would find this particular toy. So what is this? This is Playmobil, 1981. It's a fire and emergency set. And it looked to be in very good shape. With a whole lot of cool stuff with it. But I looked at it at the time as a matter of, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't really need it. I'm not technically collecting Playmobil. So I put it on Twitter, on X. Well, I go check a while later. nobody's bid on it. And the starting bid was low. I couldn't believe it. So I said, okay, I'm going to throw in a lowball bid. Lowest allowable bid. I'm sure I'm not going to win because Playmobil usually does very well in auction from what I've seen. So I'm sure I'm not going to win. No big deal. But I got to do it. I can't just let this go. It's too much cool stuff. And lo and behold, I won. And I've been looking forward to getting a hold of this. Empty those out. Now, some of these go on this actual truck. And I'm not going to try to do that on camera because I'll probably do something stupid. Now you can see that goes up. I'm trying to see if there's a, oh wow, look at that. So that works. Now I am a mega fan of the TV show Emergency. Was when I was a kid, and as an adult, they would show Emergency on, COZI TV or something, one of those channels. I'm joking, I'd get home from work, put it on, and watch like 3 episodes in a row. And within about, I don't know, a week or, well, no, within a month or so, it practically would have restarted, and I'd sit and watch the same episodes again. So I always had a fascination with fire trucks, police cars, ambulances as a kid. That was primarily the Matchbox Hot Wheels that I collected. Such a nerd. Oh, dude, there's something in there. I'm not going to open it up. I'm not going to do it. I will drop something. I will break something. I am sure of it. We got a nice pickaxe. In case they run into an arsonist and he has to be dealt. No, that's probably not why they have a pickaxe. That's to get through little doors, burning buildings. Look at this dude. Is this gorgeous? 1981. So over 40 years old. Over 40 years old. And these look great, in great shape. And that's one nice thing about Playmobil, about Fisher-Price Adventure People, and Fisher-Price in general. Oh, look at that. Very sturdy items. They really could hold up to play. We got to do this. I love this dude's little helmet he's got going. Oh, actually, I don't want to move those that way, huh? Am I going to be able to do this easily? Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm always afraid when I'm working on this. I have the camera stand is like right here with the camera looking down. So I'm working around it, and I'm always afraid I'm going to damage something or do something stupid and break something. And I don't want to do that. I just opened this thing up. We got, look at this. It's like, come on. So this is like the hose assembly is going to go on here somewhere. Gonna have to look some stuff up, man. There's like this dude with a crank and ends in a like a grapple type thing. That's cool. Wrap it up a little bit. Holy moly! All the candy, man. Look at all the candy. What? I have no idea what this is. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'll have to figure that out later. We got some gasoline. Because, you're firemen, right? Sometimes business is bad. Maybe you have to set up. No. Firemen don't do that. Look at that. We got the little case for these, for the paramedic dudes. We got a sweet walkie-talkie. What did they call those? Emergency, when they first showed up. They had a different word for it. What the heck was... I can't remember that now. I was like, what? When did they ever call them that? So look at this. And again, this is 40 years old. Holy mackerel, look at the shape this is in. These were great, great toys. So they come out of Germany. I believe 1974 is when they got their start. And they started exporting in 1975. So again, this is 81. So this is about 6 years into the line. Line started off with knights, cowboys and Indians, and construction. And there was such a market once upon a time for toys that just sort of put real life into miniature. Real life things. Think about Tonka trucks, right? Construction vehicles, fire trucks, all that kind of awesome stuff that Tonka did. You can think about, oh, wait a minute, hold on. You're not telling me. You're not telling me. Oh, okay. Ooh, that one's a little. You got to do them together. I think that might be broken right on the end there. I can live with this, especially because I'm never going to have the thing all the way out anyways. But you know, you have the Tonkas, you have the Fisher-Price Adventure people. You had a lot of that kind of stuff that kids played with. It seems like nowadays that does exist, obviously, but it tends to have more of a fantasy vibe to it, and there's a lot of genre stuff and a lot of licenses. And Playmobil nowadays does some unbelievable licensed stuff. They got a USS Enterprise and a Klingon Bird of Prey that are friggin' to die for, and not cheap, I might add, which is why they ain't hanging in my room. But I think they got like an Ecto-1 with the Ghostbusters. They got a DeLorean with Marty and Doc. They got I think they got Kit with Michael Knight. So they got a few, and they're gorgeous. Because that's one thing, and you can tell just by looking at this. They managed to have this amount of detail that is absolutely perfect. These are very minimalist toys, right? They don't go overboard on detail, but they do have a lot of detail to them, and they're just perfect in that regard. And I guess 2222, that must have been like their version of 911 back in the day. Anyways, I love these kinds of toys. And, so now you get like Paw Patrol, which is this kind of stuff, except it's dogs. Back in the day, there was this wonderful market for just, by the way, you look at that. You got the little badge. You got the little helmet. But see how simple it is? It's a very simple toy. But it has just the perfect amount of detail to spark a kid's imagination. Give me your hand. Come on now. Behave yourself. And these little dudes, obviously, can be sat inside. I need to raise that up, and I'm just terrified that I'm going to do something stupid. Put his little arms out a little bit. Get my little dude in there. Let's check him out. All right, hold on, ready? Hopefully he'll stay set. Yeah, how great is that? So, I got this at a fantastic price in that auction. I was the only bidder. And I'm telling you, I see Playmobil stuff go all the time at a good, well, I say a good price, meaning like they cost a few bucks. I just got lucky, I think, on this one. I hit it when nobody else was looking, was interested, whatever. It happens once in a while. Sometimes you get just stinking lucky. I don't know how much more of this I'm going to buy. I need to rearrange my shelf. I have a shelf way up high with Adventure People stuff on it. I'm going to put this with the Adventure People stuff. I got to reorganize the shelf a little bit so I can fit it up there, because it's very much in the same vein. It has that same feel, that miniature reality that just sparks a kid's imagination, and you can play with these things for hours. You're inventing your own story. You're inventing your own characters. You're naming these guys. Obviously, this is Percy. Because, come on, look at him. That's Percy. And it's just fantastic toys. Now, I get the feeling the stuff that's being produced today is primarily for collectors, not so much for kids to play with, which is a shame. But, the price points are a little tougher nowadays a lot of times. You look at some of the toys that get pumped out to actual kids, and you're just like, wow, man, like these suck. This is crap. And you're going, meanwhile, you got this stuff that's made for collectors, except it's how they would have just made the toys back in the day. So is it some kind of toy inflation? Is it just corporate bean counters who are sucking the happiness out of everything they can touch? Yeah, it's partly that. I don't know. I don't know entirely what it is, but it is. And it's a tragedy, man, because this is great stuff for kids to play with, for inventing their own stories. Be careful, dude. See, he go in there. Oh, that's so awesome. I knew when I finally opened this, it has been sitting here for a week, before I could do the little unboxing thing. I knew when I opened this thing, it was going to be like me Christmas morning as a little kid, because I just love the detail that they put into these things. This stuff just totally revs my engine. Even as an adult, it's just, look, it's sculpture. It's miniature sculpture. No, it's not, high art, perhaps, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The color, the details, the designs, it's just beautiful. Look, you got I don't know if those come down. I don't want to touch them. I'm so afraid. Oh yeah, it looks like there's maybe a little damage to the front here too. Because that's where this would go. Yeah. Or maybe it's not damaged. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. No, maybe not. I'll have to play with it and check it out. There's so many things. I got to find like instructions from back in the day to figure it all out. Oh, come on. How cool is this? So here we go. This is the toy of the day here. Playmobil emergency rescue fire truck, however you want to call it. 1981. In pretty fantastic shape. If there's a couple little pieces busted, I don't care. I don't care. It all looks so nice, and really brings back memories. Again, I didn't have any of these when I was a kid, but I always wanted some. And I want to say I probably got to play with them like at a cousin's house or at a friend's house. I think sometimes you'd even find these things like in doctor's offices in the waiting room, you could play with. So I played with them a little bit, but I didn't own any. And I am just super jazzed that I do now. So what do you think, folks? What do you think of Playmobil? What do you think of these toys? Did you like them? Were they not your style? That's fine. Did you have it? Did you have this? Did you play with this when you were a kid? Let's get a nice close-up as we talk. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Let me know in the comments what you think. Any comments, any questions? I would love to hear from you. Always love to get comments from viewers makes the channel more alive and I think more fun. Here, let me hold that this way. There we go. There we go. So until the next video, God bless everyone. Please be kind to one another. Try to have a little bit of fun. And I'll hopefully see you next time in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.